Yo, it's the finger pointing time.
Lasers.
Pew pew. It is time for some tea drinkery, sirs and sirettes, madams, mademoiselles, misses.
As well as the gender neutral.
Yeah. German's cool for that reason. Anyway, what are we doing today, sir? What episode is it?
We are drinking some whites.
344. That's more than...
343?
Yeah, it's more than 12 that we initially spent out.
Yeah.
Or 16 or whatever it was.
Yeah. What's your favorite episode, guys? Yeah, let us know. You have to say so it in the number.
Yeah, you can't look it up.
Describe it.
Yeah, you can't look it up.
It has to be like, oh man, I'm more of a 223 guy. Yeah, anyways. So this is a white tea from W2T.
Cool.
It's a blend.
It's pressed.
Yep, it is pressed.
Beautiful
it
color.
has been sitting in a sample bag for over a year here, so let's see how it is.
Yeah, whatever. I've done that before.
Yeah.
Heaven forbid you don't drink all the tea yet.
It happens to a lot of teas around here,
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
It smells awesome still. The color looks great on the saturation of the liqueur. Nice and dark still. I mean, actually more verdant dark green than I would anticipate. You kind of get these browner leaves in white teas, obviously. So, but yeah, no, this one looks good. It smells crisp still. So we'll see. What would we expect, James, to change in a year, if anything? Slightly.
Might get a little darker. I don't know. I mean, we'd expect it to lose a little bit of that, like, really fresh, crisp verdantness to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, we wouldn't expect it to develop anything like a date taste or anything like that.
No.
So, yeah, I don't know. Well, it'll be interesting. I don't necessarily have a lot of white teas in this, like, early range. I've even heard that some of them could get a little awkward, where it's sort of like they don't have that sort of age complexity yet, but they're not. They've lost a lot of, like, those really fresh notes.
Yeah.
Not sure if this tea will qualify.
We'll
Haven't
see.
drank any cups yet, so we will see.
Here we go.
Cheers.
This feels hot. So
It's not. It's a sensory illusion.
I think it still has a lot of verdant vibes going on.
It really does.
Yeah, I mean, it has almost that sort of salty oceanic verdantness to it.
Yeah. The first thing I noticed with this was actually kind of the texture of it. It just sort of has... It's not quite that silky texture, but it has a little more of a complex textural experience, I think, than normal.
It's really nice.
But yes,
Yeah, it's really great.
I agree. It's definitely still tastes fresh.
Absolutely. And when we say verdant or crisp or these high notes, one thing that I kind of distinguish or differentiate that from would be sort of like more of a mid-tone flavor profile. And for me, those flavors come off as a little bit more cozy and round. Crisp and sharp, literally, like it's a more of an immediate sharp flavor, as opposed to something that kind of builds slowly. And then the high notes being just, a little bit more potentially like sour as opposed to smooth, those sorts of things. And so there's a lot of, like I said earlier, a little bit of a salty oceanic thing going on that's kind of an immediate boom. Of course, plenty of classic white tea flavors. There's a great sort of maybe under-ripened, just blossoming honeysuckle flower kind of thing going on.
Right. Yeah. There's some floral aspects to this. It's not quite like on jasmine level, but it's a little bit in that genre at least.
Yeah. It's really tasty.
Denny, for you, is something like this a seasonal affair, or are you a white tea 365.25 days a year guy?
Yeah,
they did the math. Guys.
I'd say that it's white tea is one of those teas that I wouldn't have every day, but when the mood strikes me, I want to go for it, definitely. But I think I would reach more to a white tea than I would to Rapware, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
I love ripe pretty much every day. Black tea I could drink pretty much every day. but a white tea sometimes I'm like really craving it. Today it's tasting really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So maybe a little bit after a black tea, but
Right.
more than like a raw pour.
For my taste at this point, which is too bad because I have such amazing access to really delicious, kind of exquisite raw. But I don't know. These are really wonderful. These are the kind of teas that are easy to drink,
smoother, yeah.
and just simple to share with friends too, to have around and just be like, lightly roasted oolong. Let's just throw. Everyone's gonna like this.
Right.
And so this is just a really easy, pleasant brew for me.
Yeah.
And this one's really quite nice. Look at the yellow color on that.
Right. And as you can probably tell, I am using boiled water for this.
Right.
So this steep, we'd expect it to get a little bit stronger. It's kind of got a little bit more of a solid yellow golden color to it.
Yeah. Quite nice. Almost grassy. We have sometimes some of those like slightly acorn grassy South Korean teas sometimes, and there's a little bit of that sort of verdant grassiness going on here in a really pleasant way.
Mom test?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Really green.
Yeah.
Still.
Really.
Just looking in there's really not much brown at all. So I think that's one reason why we're probably tasting a little more of the verdant.
Right.
And this might almost have been really sharp initially.
Yeah, and some white teas sort of have these bigger leaves that are a little, I don't know if they're ugly looking so much as they're just like bigger, fluffy, take up a lot of room in your device when they're dry. Not an incredible amount here that I'm noticing.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more bud heavy.
Yeah. Really tasty. Really clean. I think you could drink the rinse if you had to.
That's right, rinse drink at 43. But we didn't. LOL.
Really tasty.
Yeah.
So we're going to enjoy this last couple of steepings here. W2T is kind of a classic, so check them out. Y2T.com, I believe. This is the dear old white. Or no, is this not? No.
Yeah, it's white tea. This is just their... I don't know why they have that packaging.
This is the 2018 Censers.
Yes, Censers.
Interesting.
And it's some sort of a blend, yeah.
Yeah, really tasty. We'll quickly drink these last two steepings.
Yep. Really, just sort of like that really intense florality is a bit of what I get here. It's just like very blossoming.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really does smell like, tastes like spring in a great way. Just a very small hint of some of those rounder, softer notes that are a little bit more cozy, but really nice. Yeah, floral, blossomy, almost perfumey, but not in a obtrusive way. And it's really just like persisting, really tasting flower buds still. So
yeah, no clue how this tea will age, and I suspect that we will see some versions of this age just because it is pressed into a cake, and I think some people are setting it aside.
Right.
Just because it is, like, for me, I really noticed the freshness and the crispness of this tea more than anything else, I think.
Yeah.
It still gives off a lot of just those vibes, and that's to be expected. It's only a year old, but I don't know. I'm curious to see how that stuff will all develop in 5-6 years.
Totally, yeah. Yeah, and this is one of those teas that actually I think has a lot of... It's a little bit more dynamic than most white teas as well. Changing just a little bit. High notes coming and going and evolving. Even a bit more vanilla-y now. Really nice. Yum.
Yeah. Any bitterness or astringency?
Not really. No, I mean, if you really went boiling water for 2 minutes in the cup on the first rinse and then try to drink that, it wouldn't be good. But
yeah,
I think it's a pretty forgiving tea.
If you're in a biker gang and you really like white tea, maybe that's how you want to do it. I don't know.
Yeah. You biker gang TDV followers out there,
just want to hit all
subscribe
the categories.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know. If you somehow liked this, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel, tdb.org. Okay, keep it together. We'll get the plugs out of them. tdb.org for
I'm calm.
Plenty of content and future ridiculousness as well. In between the episodes with tons of guests that James performs and written content from James himself. I am just a sidekick. Yeah, but I love it. So subscribe.
Yeah.
We're gonna do more. See you soon.
Cheers.